So let us carry that innocent power into this moment and into the invitation that this magic happens when we all create it together. And that is part of what we're doing tonight, because we had an entirely different ritual planned for tonight. And when I say we, I don't mean me, I mean the teaching team. And then the 3 priestesses who were anchoring this ritual got called away to the death of a dear friend, Copper Persephone, who we believe is in her final hours and days. And it didn't feel right to not gather. So we have moved this ritual to be a calling in of the sacred together. And then we're going to do some singing to our lineage, and then some sharing about the lineage, and some singing about the lineage, and some sharing about the lineage, and some singing about the lineage, singing to the lineage, and sharing about the lineage, so that we can just co-create this magic together. When the singing happens, we have someone to anchor the singing each time. And if you know and love that song and you would like to volunteer to continue it when that anchor gets tired, you can message in the chat room and say, I can continue this singing. If you get tired and we want to keep going, let us know. We're heading into this magic together. Welcome, witches.
And so wherever you are on Indigenous land. We're all on Indigenous land. We all came to be or have been there from many different experiences and identities and connection to the place and space that we are each at right now. I'm going to invite folks to, as I talk, you're welcome to put in the chat maybe where you are, who the nations of the land are that you're on, and I invite you just to kind of let that roll through, and you can take a peek at where other folks are. I know we're all kind of in many different places, which is a really beautiful thing to be able to do right now. And so I am currently on Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh land. And when I think about coming here through lineage, I think about the lineage that I know, and there's also limited information that I have. So from Portugal and Poland, and I'm not sure where else. And so I invite you to take a moment in yourself, and I'm gonna share some questions and let them kind of roll through you. And it may be a time of honoring your existence in the space you are, so then we can honor collectively in this circle that we are stretching and growing and always connected to. So taking this moment and think about, where did you come from? So maybe the question is, where did I come from? And who did I come from? How did I come to be in the place I am currently in this moment right now? What does it mean for me to be where I am right now? What does it mean for me to be in sacred space and existing in this place that I am right now? What commitment or recommitment can I bring forward, reignite, and honor? And so perhaps this is a good moment to also speak out loud or honor in some way, perhaps what you've shared in the chat, or to honor the nations or the tribes of the land that you currently are. And this may be people you are connected to, people you share blood with, lineage with, and perhaps also not. And taking another moment in this acknowledging and honoring maybe sending a bit of love and gratitude to the ancestors of the space you are on, the ancestors that are the people, the spirits, the trees, the earth, the air, the little creatures and beings of this land that you are on. And then moving into and including the ancestors as part of the current beings of the land that you are connected to and on right now. And then expanding that even more and moving forward. Perhaps there's a part of this commitment, there's also a hopefulness and an optimism for the nations and the beings, the descendants to come, thriving, this land to be healthier, connected. So all land is indigenous land. Let yourself take another moment before we move on to this next piece, which is attached to all the ritual, all the work we're doing together here and before and after this circle. Just again, an honoring of the place you are at and your story to get there, and a moment to commit and connect. Blessed be.
Blessed be. I invite you to join me in a grounding. So get yourself comfortable. You can close your eyes or keep them at soft focus, whatever works well for you. And I invite you to notice your breath. Not changing it, just notice your breath. And the warmth of your blood, the warmth of your body. Bringing to your awareness the rhythm of your own heartbeat. And now the weight and bones of your body. Begin to imagine, begin to send down roots from the bottom of your feet, from the base of your spine, into the soil of where you are, your home place. And your roots, as they begin to sink down, find the silvery traces of mycelium. And the mycelium are finding you. Sinking further down to feel the warmth deep in the ground. And still on your breath, your roots drop. Becoming aware of the low, slow heartbeat of the earth. Passing through layers of wet and dry, of rock and critters. On your breath, you can release any tension you're holding in your body, any distractions on your breath. Drop that down. Knowing that this deep in the earth, anything we release will be composted, becoming purely rich earth again. And breathe. Earth energy seeks to rise. Invite that earth energy now into your very roots. Like sucking on a straw, feel it rise, effortless. Rising through all those layers of soil, cracks and crevices, stones and bones, past multitudes of mysterious life and the threads, networks, and light of the mycelium. Rising still, earth energy enters into your feet, into the base of your spine. With your breath, welcome this earth energy into your body. Rising and rising to pool in the bowl of your belly. Rising and twining around your spine. And as below, so above, earth energy lights your neural webs, warming your heart, opening your throat, and gathering now in your head, touching each of your senses, and gently, gently open the top of your head in the way you do, as that earth energy rises and rises toward the heavens, toward the very stars spinning in galaxies beyond number, becoming branches of a great tree. And your branches breathe in that sky energy, moonlight, sunlight, rain, and air. Welcome sky into your branches, raining down into your body. As above, so below, twining now with earth energy. Bringing you fully present here and now as we begin our journey together, guided by lineage.
And now we will share a version, the short version of our letter of solidarity that a few of us have come together and created for the community. I'll just invite everyone to take a breath together before we begin. This just is really the work of community, and invite everyone to hold this together. We remember Black people who have been murdered by police. George Floyd, Regis Korchinski Packett, Breonna Taylor, DeAndre Campbell. What is remembered lives.
Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade, Deion Johnson. What is remembered lives. We also recognize all those names who have perished due to unrecognized racial violence, whose names we do not know. What is remembered lives. As members of the BCWC, we stand in solidarity with Black people and Black communities in the calls for action from Black Lives Matter. The senseless murder of Black people by police must stop. Systemic racism and oppression against Black people must end. As organizers of BCWC, we commit to addressing systemic racism and white supremacy within and outside of the reclaiming community. As members of the BCWC community, an event held on the unceded ancestral territory of the Squamish people in the nation known as Canada, we acknowledge that our work on anti-racism always includes working to be in right relationship with Indigenous peoples and nations and taking steps towards unlearning the Canadian colonial mindset. In recognition of our ongoing commitment to decolonization, we remember Chantal Moore and all the Indigenous people who were murdered by police in Canada. We remember that 1/3 of people shot to death by RCMP officers are Indigenous.
What is remembered lives. Our community includes Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color. And we want to acknowledge that for those who are racialized in our community, this might be a time of fear, grief, and anger. We stand with you. We recognize and are guided by the integral work that has been done by Black, Indigenous, and people of color in addressing racism and white supremacy in our community in a multitude of ways, including informal conversations, facilitated meetings, and through the work of decolonizing actions in reclaiming communities, otherwise known as DARC. We know that white people in our community must do more to address racism and white supremacy. We invite white and white presenting people of the BC Witch Camp community to move beyond allyship and act as co-conspirators in the fight against anti-Black racism and white supremacy. We invite all members of the community to engage in this work with compassion for ourselves, each other, and awareness of our own intersectional privilege and distress, as well as our humanity and our gifts. We must bring all our gifts and all of our magic to this co-conspiracy. As described by Feminista Jones, co-conspiring is a way for people with privilege to actively engage in anti-racism work. In her words, we are challenging that system of oppression, and so we have to conspire. Mm-hmm. We have to plot and plan the ways in which we can tear those systems down.
Using the platform of BC Witch Camp, we want to amplify the voices of Black people and state our explicit support for the calls for action from Black communities and Black Lives Matter. We invite white and non-Black people in the BC Witch Camp community to become co-conspirators, including defunding the police. Our complete statement includes many specific action steps and resources toward these ends. Tonight, we wish to commit to addressing systemic racism against Black people within our community in the following ways. Acknowledging that white silence is violence, and support the development of a culture in our community where white people speak out against racism, even if it is done imperfectly. Decenter the emotions and discomfort of white people, which is white fragility, when addressing racism in the reclaiming community. Listen to and believe the experiences of Black people in the reclaiming community and use these conversations to make change. Use our magic to flock and support anti-racism work led by Black people, Indigenous people, and people of color. Prioritize Black people when allocating funds for people to participate in the BC Witch Camp events and workshops. Support Black people moving into and staying in leadership roles within the reclaiming community. Prioritize and facilitate explicit conversations regarding racism and cultural appropriation in our community. Bring in our skills as witches and center the voices of Black people and people of color. Prioritize and facilitate explicit conversations regarding racism and cultural appropriation. Recognize that liberation work and magical practice from a Black perspective may look different from what white people in our community know and are comfortable with. Recognize that this work comes from a place of fighting for life in systems of oppression that do not value Black lives. Take steps to decolonize the name of our camp and rename it to express our values and our magic.
We invite our community to be in accountable relationship with this work and to support these efforts. We know our community is incredibly resourceful, passionate, and magical, and together we are capable of sustaining powerful work to address anti-Black racism now and in the years ahead. BC Witch Camp is a fluid community with a non-hierarchical structure, so no one speaks for all of us. We invite those who consider yourselves to be a part of the community of BC Witch Camp to join us in supporting this statement. We are grateful for the members of DARK who reviewed and consulted on the authorship. In solidarity, love, and magic. This letter was created by Justine Little, Willow Kelly, Ember Andrews, Ravenna Soli, Ruby Berry, and hopefully you. This letter has just been completed and will soon be available to sign your name to on the webpage for the BC Witch Camp.
So this is a challenge that I want us all to step up to. We will cast a circle, or perhaps we'll cast many circles. We'll cast a circle around the magic that we do as a whole. I believe we're covering the entire, what is known as the North American continent, but perhaps is known as Turtle Island. We're casting a circle around our own space, many circles, one circle, all circles between the worlds. Ember and I are going to cast the circle, and we're going to cast it in both directions, Deosil and Wittershins. I think of it as right-handed and left-handed. It's northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere, many ways. Let's think of it as all the circles that we need to contain and strengthen and protect the magic that we do here. Ask you that you join us.
So Ruby is going to begin in the north and walk Wittershins or clockwise as she casts the circle. And that is a circle of protection and banishing. I'm going to walk clockwise or Deosil, and that is a circle of invoking. So I ask each of you to check in with yourself right now and see which circle you feel called to support. Would you cast counterclockwise with Ruby or clockwise with me? And we'll cast at the same time, beginning in the north. By the earth that is our body.
By the earth that is our body.
By the air that is our breath.
And by the water that is our blood.
By the fire of our bright spirit.
By the fire of our bright spirit.
By the water of our living blood.
And by the air that is our sweet, healthy, full breath.
By all that is above.
By all that is above.
and by all that is below,
and by all that is below.
we cast this circle of many spheres. We are between the worlds.
What changes between the worlds can change all the worlds. So mote it be, blessed be.
So mote it be. And now if you're up for the casting of the circle, feel free to stay up because we're going to do the elements now. And we're going to do the elements all together. So I invite each of you to sink into your own practice, whatever that is. And I'm going to hold space for us. Beginning with earth. Beginning with air. Calling air in your own way, in your own manner. Calling in the breath, the words, the vision for what may be, and the language that names it and opens the portal to reality. Welcome, air. Thank you, air. And turning to the south and calling in fire in your own way. Calling in that spark of courage and the determination of life to persist and make new. Thank you, fire. And turning to the west and calling in water, that sacred connection, that belonging, the magic of relationships, to do this work with love together in whole time. Thank you, water. Welcome, water. And to the north, the earth that is our bones. Calling in the power to make manifest in your own way. And calling in here especially the ability to receive support in this long, beautiful working we are undertaking. Welcome, Earth. Thank you, Earth. And center, if we could all stir the cauldron. Oh, witches, we are making a new magic now. We are in unprecedented times, and here in the center, in this cauldron that we stir on this day when many witches come together to take action and make change in the world, we stir this cauldron of change with all of our love, all of our fierceness, the wisdom of our lineage, and we open the portal for a world that receives the witch's healing flame and the work of the many, many healers and lovers and artists and warriors for liberation that are acting in the world right now. We honor all those who are stirring this cauldron with us. Blessed be.
And to our allies and accomplices and co-conspirers, we don't do this work alone. We don't live our lives alone. We don't connect to this magic alone. I promise you that. So in this moment, this is a moment to invite in your allies, accomplices, and co-conspirers. The ones who stroll through life next to you, the ones who you may know already, you may know very deeply. Perhaps this is a being that you have met in this lifetime, perhaps not. This may be a being that you reach out to for support, care, love, guidance, clarity. This may be a mystical one, it may be a deity, it may be a story. It may be one of those elements that we've just called in and honored, and yet there may be one of those that for you is the strongest ally that you know so far, so you want to pull that element or that being a little bit closer to you. This may be a being who you share blood lineage with. This may be one of your badass queer ancestors. Perhaps this is a witch. Perhaps this is someone who exists still in this life, but may not be explicitly in this circle right now, but you want to bring them a little bit closer. Maybe it's bringing some wisdom that they've offered you over the years, bring that a little bit closer into this circle. This is for you. This is for all of us in this shared circle. And this is for the world and the magic that we do. So bring closer, call in, invoke, say hello to your allies, accomplices, co-conspirators. And as you bring them in, have that conversation, see what it is that, kind of figure out your point of connection. What is it you need and what do they have to offer? And where's that place in the middle? Where do you meet? And where are they going to meet you in this moment? And therefore meet all of us in this circle together. And perhaps as you welcome them in, as you say hello, you might ask them what their language is. How do they speak to you? How do they bring in your, in the wisdom and the messages that are for you to bring forward to this group, that we bring forward this magic into the world? So welcome to our allies, accomplices, co-conspirators. And also, as we welcome them, may we see each other as allies, accomplices, and co-conspirators. Welcome.
And tonight we call to Vasilisa the Brave. And as we began the magic of this year, we gathered a small pentacle of visionaries, a group that was lineage in this camp, in this tradition, different generations. And Vasilisa, we saw you so clearly. We saw you on this journey. And tonight, in this journey, in this moment, I think of your childhood, of your journey, where it begins. In this story, there are moments of joy. There is happy time with your family, and there's great loss. There's shock, there's sudden change. And what I take when I think of you, dear Vasilisa, from this journey, from this story we have of you, is that through loss, through change, through so much hardship, what happens is your relationship to lineage changes. You choose your relationship. You choose to leave that home where things aren't working. You choose what to listen to of your ancestors. You choose how to step forward. And what you offer, what you give, what you feed to the voice of those who have come before you, who can guide you in goodness, that helps you go. That helps you move towards this unknown, uncertain future where it seems like, how do we do this? And so, as we gather here, I call to you, Vasilisa the Brave, to be with us as we find our way, to be guided by lineage, to understand what that means in this moment, to be with us as we find out how lineage can support us as we face incredible change and incredible unknown. Hail and welcome, Vasilisa the Brave.
Yeah, welcome.
Hail and welcome. I am calling Vasilisa's doll. Please join me. We know the old ones, far, far back from this time, saved and hid precious truth and wisdom in fairy tales. With our witch's ear, we listen and we hear. Guided by our lineage, we know where the colors of white, red, and black are found. We will find the triple goddess. She who is maiden, mother, and crone, and so. And so we find Vasilisa's mother as she lay dying, giving her daughter a dolly, saying, when you are frightened or lost or facing difficult circumstance, ask your dolly for help. Give her a bit of water and food, and she will keep you safe. This doll, her mother's blessing, her mother's love. Guided by our lineage, we call, we invoke, and we invite Vasilisa's doll. to join us on our journey. Be with us, guide us. We will speak to you, we will feed you. We trust you. This, the love of our great mother, we are ever grateful. All hail, Vasilisa's Dolly, come to us, join us, be our Dolly for this work. We welcome you. We open our pockets to you. Be with us now. Mm.
Mm. No. Unmute.
Ashtar, you're muted, honey.
And it was so, okay. Have you got me now? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Blessed be.
Ashtar, we didn't hear you.
I know. I'm
Okay.
trying to get back there.
Okay, good. It looked great.
It was. We call from the forest, the old one, the ancient one, the one that stands in the shadow, the darkness that calls us. She calls to our shadow, to our death, to our despair. She calls us to come, to learn. She knows that she is most powerful, and she is here to test us. To test, to hold, to create an avenue for us to become stronger in ourselves. Stronger with Baba Yaga. Stronger with our doll. Stronger with our mother's lineage. We ask Baba Yaga to stand with us as we go through this time of hardship and pain, anger, frustration, creating a new world. We call Baba Yaga to stand with us. She who knows how to trick us to see who we truly are. We ask Baba Yaga to come from the forest, to bring us to her forest, to walk with us through that forest so that we can see all of what our eyes, our innocent, avoiding, scared eyes can see and know that we can handle this. We can handle it with her by our side. Baba Yaga, the creature of the shadows, the wonder of our own hidden places. Work with us. Show us our way. Blessed be.
Oh, mycelium. You are an old friend of many of us. We've been able to work with you in person, together, with our bodies on the land and the same patch of mycelium. Dear one, dear friend,
We know that you are bigger than that land. We know that you connect us. Oh, you change maker. We know that you connect us across space. You reach across all the continents of this land, and every one of us has you beneath our feet, perhaps even 300 miles worth of tiny silver white tendrils underneath the fruiting body of a mushroom or a fungi. Mycelium, you unite us not only through space, you unite us through time. You are one of our oldest ancestors that is an organism. You connect us with our past, with our lineage. Before we were even human, before there were even plants, you were here. You connect trees to other trees, helping them to send nutrients, to feed and nourish each other as a community. You're doing it right now, somewhere, maybe everywhere. And you help trees to deposit 70% of their carbon into the soil for 1,000 years. And in this way, you connect us to our future, to the future that we want, to the world we want to live in. And we as witches, we know this visioning. We know how to vision into the future and say, what can I do right now? What little thing can I do right now that will impact 1,000 years in the future? So we call to you not only as connector, but we call to you as change maker, mycelium, because you are the first, and you know how to take what was once in our history long, long ago, bare, solid rock that seemed impenetrable. It seemed like it would never change. It seemed like there had never been anything else, and there would never be anything else. And you, mycelium, with your little teeny tiny roots that only grow one cell at a time on the tip, you broke down that solid rock and made something that had never been there before, the soil. The very soil that made it possible for those we call green bloods to live, and then made that possible for us to be here now. Great change maker, you who connect us through time and space. We are witches, and we are facing what feels impenetrable, what feels like it will not be able to change. We are facing white, heterosexist, capitalist patriarchy running the world. And it feels like we could not make a difference sometimes. So we call to you today to remind us to bring this power of change, this power of compost, bring this power of connecting that is radical magic, and remind us that each one of us can just do that one thing that is ours to do, that one cell, and together we can break down what seems immutable, what seems solid, and create the fertility that will make way for new life. We're so grateful for your energies, your friendship, your relationship with us, mycelium. Here in this circle, you are with us always, and we acknowledge you by saying, mycelium is sacred. Mycelium is sacred.
Thank you for that invocation of mycelium, calling them here. They are here. Thank you. And so our journey has begun. We will journey together to Evans Lake for this piece of magic. Feel once again yourself as tree of life, joining sky and ground. Breathe, gather yourself, and drop on your breath into your roots. In whole time and whole earth, all mycelium is in truth one. From your roots, wherever you are, find again those silvery threads of mycelium, a coursing living web. of reciprocity, of relationship. Mycelium recognizes you and welcomes you. You find yourself easily melting from root into the mycelium itself, and still you breathe. Carried along in silvery light, all you need is here, breathe. Trust this relationship. Mycelium knows the way, knows where we all need to gather. As you are, as we are journeying through this mystery, the everyday miracle occurs from tree to tree, from forest to forest. In whole time and whole earth, mycelium gently delivers us all at once to the roots of our beloved willow tree. Breathe. This is easy. It happens in every moment. Leaving the mycelium, we rise, rise, rise in the roots of the willow, finding an opening, a magical door that opens. And we emerge together, stepping from the willow beside the sparkling waters of this lovely mountain lake, surrounded by our beloved forest, in the meadow, at the height of summer, guided by lineage. Blessed be. Uh-oh, Otis is muted.
Ashtar, we can't hear you.
We are the weavers of threads of lineage, and we are the woven. We pull from the past, the present, and the future, and we are all part of this weaving. We pull in the words of strength and power that inspire, truths that resonate in our bones, those strong voices that fill us with memory and dispel shame. Like Vasilisa, I wandered as a young child searching for my answers with a doll and a buggy full of rocks. I pull in this truth, pulling in distant memory of the craft, our visions and love, of deserts, of groves, of rivers, of oceans and ice and mountains. We pull suffering and determination after loss, deception and betrayal, the pain that we hold close to our hearts, the pain that breaks us apart, that helps us split ourselves open so that we can reheal into softer, more open, more willing human beings. I respectfully throw this into the center. We bring our lineages that help us have the ability to feel, to love, to cherish, to teach each other, to learn from each other, to listen, to open our own to our own failings, moving towards the change and growth and towards success. We bring our shadow, our Baba Yagas, our fears, our hatred, our willingness to harm, to silence, to dismiss, to stand and watch while another suffers, to change, to listen, to feed our dolls, to learn, sometimes to force ourselves into acceptance of who we can and will be. And I call on you now to deepen into this magic, by following into a dropped and open space. And breathe. Breathe into your body, that place of wonder and beauty, the gift of the mysterious ones and the hidden, the silver tongues and the lovers of life. Breathe with exquisite wonder. We breathe into our crown to let our wisdom flow, into our third eye to allow fuller perception, into our ears and voice and throat to encourage speaking and listening to our truth. We breathe into our hearts to be free of fear and constriction, into our solar plexus to deeply feel our will. And we breathe deeply into our navel to resonate our life force. We open up the experience and memory of ancestors, self, and descendants of magic and bone, to let ourselves know what is missing, feel it, see it, know it. What are your lineages? What is your heart's desire? Who are you, and what do you bring?
You know, I invite you, my dear community, to begin to feel the threads of your lineage, to begin to know the power of being able to name where you are from. All of your threads, passions, connections, the hidden ones and the loud ones, the oppressed ones, the proud ones, the healthy, well and whole, and the broken, lost ones. I call out to the lineages of seers, of truth tellers, of justice warriors and justice tenders. I call the lineages of queers, witches, healers, and weavers between worlds, transgender people, and people who bridge all binaries. I call in the lineage of those who with the compass of intuition were guided to pray at the dawn, at the edge of the earth, the sky, and the sea. To the lineages of those who heal by jumping in cold water, those who weave stories with the stars. I call in all the threads of those who knew their traditions and lived in honor of life, calling in the lineages of rebels, resistors, disruptors, healers, artists, teachers, change makers, way showers, song weavers. I call them into relationship with lineages that are silently, complacently, or violently upholding white supremacy and colonization. I call the lineages that were drowned out by fear and privilege, that were separated from oppressive violence, and I call them in to weave among the threads that courageously upheld truth and honored life. In naming them weaver and woven, you are made whole, and we are more whole as we know all of you. From whom and what are you a descendant, or an elder, or a future elder? I pull into the center lineages of descendants learning to hold elders, learning to teach elders and be held by elders. I call the threads of lineage that are lost and wounded and full of oppressive lies back into relationship with the threads of lineage felt with pride in the heart. From whom and what are you a descendant? Feel in your lineage the powerless and feel them weaving with the ones who knew true power. Feel your connection to these webs that weave into and with your own power.
Ashtar, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I'm not disfamiliar. I am an elder.
Ashtar, you gotta say the last line.
I've got a what?
Say the very last line.
I invite you all to say your lineages, to write them down in the text box, to
No, not yet. No, no, no. They're doing that later. Sorry, the ritual changed like right before. They're going to do that later while we sing.
okay.
You just have to say the last line.
I carry a lineage of seekers, truth tellers, witches, ones who know, ones who hold in their hands the secrets of time and space, memories and magic. I carry the old ones, witches of old, those who died in flames and in Inquisition. I hold and share these truths. I pull in pride as a feminist, my lesbian dyke activism as a working class woman. I am proud of my working class ancestors who made mistakes and also helped create the respect for workers that still exists today.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to begin the singing. Horizon will anchor us in this song, and we invite all of you to sing with Horizon. And this is a using of a witch's way that we have used many times together, which is to sing until it becomes in our bodies. To sing and Horizon.
Bone by bone, I honor you. 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 I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor you. Bone by bone, I honor you. Bone by bone, I honor you. Bone by bone, I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and I promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down. I promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you. Bone by bone, I honor 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 you. I lay you down for all that you've been through. I lay you down and promise to remember you.
Who are the lineages that you bring to this magic? Who are the lineages that you bring to this magic? If you feel called to share, you could hear maybe 4 or 5 voices. Or if you would like to put something into the chat box, you can share that way. And it's nice to hear some other voices too. So if you feel called to share, just unmute and share a few words. People have shared Italian, Sicilian. Pasha shared that. Alessandra shared Italian, Calabrese. Apologies if I didn't pronounce that correctly. Pasha shared again Trinidadian, Northern India. Otis and Tessa shared Dykes. Sharon Pink shared Portuguese Merfem. Baba Sovka shared ancestors from Bukovina around 2006. Marie Vreekamp, Vanda Pol, and Willem Plaisier was shared by Heather or Linda. Kat shared English, Scottish, French, Algonquin. Sharon shared Queer Kinky Survivors. Pasha shared Calabrese also. Kathy Zenzibani shared Ukrainian Migrant. Tracy, Granny Women of the Ozarks and Appalachia. Melissa shared My Partner Who Passed Away Last Year. Chuck shared Trans Warriors. Kai shared Scandinavian, Dutch, English, Ashkenazi, Jewish. Fear shared Radical Fairies. All the halfway in between things. Swamps, Chata, Okla, Irish, German. Alessandra shared Seers and Mad Ones. Hawthorne shared Acadians. Kathy Zenzi Bonnie shared, well, Zenzi shared English, Scottish. Jane shared German speaking people who live in Russia, Danish, Irish, English. Tidal, Scottish communists. Kat shared Basque. Pasha, again, teachers, healers. Kate shared English, Welsh, Scottish, Northwest, Southeastern India. Sandy, Ashkenazi, Jewish. Susan shared English, Scottish, dead grandparents and parents, uncles and aunts, doctors. So many here. Janet shared Welsh, English, Scottish, Irish, Norwegian. Jolene, farmers, single mom, working class. Ashtar shared Jewish, Hungarian, Wales. Sammy. Chloe shared My Icelandic great-grandmother, Cornish, English, Scottish blood, colonizers. So the Black trans women who've always led queer movements. Gender traders, selkies, witches, shit disturbers, fire setters, midwives. Scottish, Welsh, Belgian, from G. Baba Sovka, my Baba, who I never met since I was adopted. She was a farming herb miodamna who made carrot moonshine and had a laugh that shook the world. And so many more here. I'll just pick a few at random. Liz shared Crip activists and path makers. Otis shared abolitionists and freedom fighters. Lyle shared refugees, immigrants, natives, and warriors. And maybe we'll wrap up now. If there's anyone who wants to say a few words, they can unmute and share something. And if not, we'll just hold this silence, holding all that's named and not named, and spoken aloud and not spoken aloud, seeing all the lineages that we bring to this magic right now.
I also come from hi, I'm Micheline or Silver Wolf. I also come from a long line of artists, and I guess seers in one form of another. My mother read palms. I had a great aunt that did tea leaves. I read the tarot professionally. So my sister read a crystal ball. I guess we all delve in it in one form or another. And I believe I practiced the craft, but we all did. My mother did. She just didn't admit it. She did for a while. She started studying with me way back when. She's deceased now. But and I know my grandmother was, even though she was a little Polish Catholic lady. She knew all her herbs and everything else, and under her breath she cursed people out, and some reason things happened, and she was terrible. She shouldn't have, but she was from the old country, and she had superstitions. So We all learn. Come from a very matriarchal family too.
Yeah, lineage of magic makers, witches, herbalists.
Yes.
Well, thank you for sharing. Is it Micheline?
It's Micheline.
Micheline.
It was Michalina in Polish, but you
Yeah.
know, you can't quite sound it out like the Poles do. So the French pronunciation got put in there.
Thank you for sharing. Is there maybe one other person who wants to say a few words?
This is Cooper, and I'm reflecting on lineage and looking right into the face and a square on my Zoom at Maven, who was my Elements of Magic teacher, my very first reclaiming thing ever. And I found you all on the internet. So I come from a lineage of witches who find their people on the internet.
I come from a lineage of people who found reclaiming through the Vancouver phone message recording.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing, Cooper and Pasha. Okay, I think we might be ready for our next song.
It's actually the Deep Well one. Great, thank you. Just holding all that lineage. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloveds as you swell, flow deeper, and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet water, may you hear this prayer from your beloveds as you swell, flow deeper, and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloveds as you swell, flow deeper, and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloveds as you swell, flow deeper, and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet water, may you hear this prayer from your beloveds as you swell, flow deeper, and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, May you hear this prayer from your beloved as you swell. Flow deeper and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloved as you swell. Flow deeper and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet water, may you hear this prayer from your beloved as you swell. Flow deeper and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloved as you swell. Flow deeper and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloved as you swell. Flow deeper and wash our tears away. Deep well, sweet waters, may you hear this prayer from your beloved as you swell. Flow deeper and wash our tears away.
How does lineage guide you? How does lineage guide you? How does lineage guide us? And I think similarly, you can type into the chat or feel free to unmute and we can hear from a couple of people, 4 or 5 people. Through dreams. By us listening. Intuition.
Guides me by showing me joy in unexpected things. Like harvesting red fruit.
I am guided through inspiration.
We have in the chat stories, family stories, art, music, breath, showing the way, moving forward from a place of belonging, growing the seeds that were planted, participating in one's own healing, traditions, inspirations and calling, forced anger and resistance to fight back, writers, artists, image makers, intuition, creativity, resilience in my bones and my heart, guided by courage, writing, instinct, sitting in the natural world, heritage of singing, bone wisdom.
Strength. Creativity.
Hearing my lineage, my teachers, my families, my beloved's voice, words in my own voice.
Emotions. Eclectic.
Listening to my intuition.
Eclecticness. Eclecticness. Eclecticness.
Conflict, learning from harm done, following their calls to action, knowing their work continues after death, the stars, strong women, paying attention to the signs, textiles, earth, longing, loving, strength, twinkles. My mother taught me how to smile, non-conscious mind, becoming future ancestors, initiators. It's a really powerful experience to just read these as they come in. Learning what not to do, pride in what they've done to survive. Connections, resilience, strengths. I wonder if we just want to take a couple of breaths together and breathe into all these ways we're guided by lineage. Thank you all for sharing.
And we're going to offer a song that's been requested by the beloveds of Copper Persephone. And as we do this, I want to ask that you, if this is someone who is important to you, and then sing to her. And I ask that you think about the people that you're holding in your hearts who are in the process of passing or passing recently, people who have been inspiring in some way, people who are important to you. Possibly green bloods, possibly other species. If someone deep in your heart, you're holding in your heart. And I ask that we sing this song and be inspired in the ways that Copper has inspired many of us. She's a beloved of many, many, many reclaiming people, has been involved in teaching and priestessing in our tradition for many, many, many years, and has been a great gift to us. And let's build and spread that love and share that with all of those we love currently passing. Blessed be.
We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones waiting for. We are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are dawning. We are the rising sun. We are the change. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are dawning. Look at all those beautiful witches.
And so, as we walk into this year of magic together, how will you listen to lineage? How will you listen to lineage? How will you listen to lineage in this year? Get around these candles. Ruby says, the promise of my descendants. Titles, Fox says, carried in my body. Otis says, through artists, creativity, and authenticity. Sharon says, using the information that I have now to do better. Bridget says, ritual. Fate says, here. Sarah H says, humility and slowing down. Coop says, slowing down. Ashtar says, I will be less shamed and more proud to change. I will be less shamed and more proud to change. Emma says, I will read and listen to stories. Yes. Tracy says, I will practice. G says, I'm going to learn from the bad stuff so I can learn not to repeat it. Kat says, deep listening. Bridget says, slowing down. Maven says, slowing down, honoring and listening to my body. Ritual, ritual, ritual. Chloe says, along with all you witches. Alessandra says, listening. Crow says, making time for deep listening. Bridget says, yes, listening. Kate says, honoring and gratitude. Susan from Victoria says, admiring and maybe wearing mom's old jewelry. Bridget says, singing. 10 Crows says, tending every thread. Pasha says, and more listening. Elspeth says, bone wisdom, in the moment, Listening, writing, drawing, changing, rooting, using deep listening. Skyheart and Amy say, Skyheart says, in the future that I live now. Kathy, Senzi, and Bonnie say, supporting and encouraging my granddaughter, an emerging warrior. Sarah H says, putting myself on the line in solidarity. Oh, there's so many. Which is, there are so many ways that we listen to our lineage. Coop says, Copper taught me how to move energy. I am so grateful. I will say that Copper taught me that pleasure is an act of great revolution. From Lionheart, deep loving presence. From Pasha, singing and drumming. From Tom, action. From Baba Savka, keep myself alive. From Heidi, taking care of the world, doing more magic. Singing and playing Dad's piano. From Susan. From Alessandra, space for grief, space for joy, space for action. From Jane, trancing to the ancestors. From Otis, tending to evolution. From Tidal Fox, noticing appetites. Hungers and plenties. From Elspeth, smiling. From Zoe, growing. Baba Savka says, pleasure as revolution. I love that. Thank you, Copper. Thank you, Copper. From Copper, I will listen to the bees. I will buzz until the hum brings the bees right into my heart and they will travel out again, says Alessandra. From Coop. Femmes taught me to honor femme labor and now I am teaching my infant nephew about it. How do we listen to lineage? From Kat, using my grandmother's cookbook. From Chuck. Honoring my lineage may mean embracing the outlaw way from time to time. From Sage, thank you, Copper. Are there voices that can be heard now?
I honor my lineage by remembering the witches that came before me and loving them fondly.
While we were here, a relative sent me a picture of my granddaughter who just made a doll while we were doing this.
Ashtar, are you trying to unmute? No, okay.
I was born the year the first witch camp started in, so when you prayed descendants, you prayed for me, and I came.
Oh, I'm just taking a breath into how much I love this community. And how strongly I feel that choosing to gather anyway is such a powerful act in these times. And it's the beginning of being able to step into the magic I think that we are called to and that is called for. Let us take a breath now. into the power of being guided by our lineage. Feeling the lineage of the land where we come from. And the land where we have made magic together. Honoring those ways that lineage will come to us and guide us in the coming year. The portals we opened by our naming tonight of the dreams, the pleasures, the listening, the ritual, the slowing down, the being with each other, the appetite, the solidarity, the action, and the courage that we use to listen to and be guided by our lineage as we journey into Baba Yaga's dark forest to learn world-changing magic and carry forth the witch's healing flame. Let us sink this intention into our bodies and into the land. Let us open our hearts to the acts of courage that will be required of us that we do not yet know that we know how to do. Let us open our hearts to the courage that will be required of us and that we do not yet know that we know how to do. And we take this being together and this working of lineage forward into all the offerings that we will make to each other between now and our next large group ritual on the fall equinox. But in this moment for now, we are aware that we have journeyed by trance together to the willow tree by the lake, that we sang together under the willow tree by the lake. And now we begin the journey back.
The time has come to travel whence we came, knowing we will come here again and again. Turn and look round our circle. All our beloveds, we hold one another in this sacred, profoundly challenging and rich time. We need one another. We need all of us for this magic. This is indeed the beginning of our journey. And so we say farewell for now to the meadow, to our beloved forest surrounding us, this sparkling mountain lake on the longest day of the year. The mountains rising around us. Turn now and see the magical door of the willow tree is swinging open. One by one, and all at once, we step in within and are gently drawn to the roots where the mycelium awaits us. Breathe and feel yourself melt, carried by the silvery lines of mycelium from tree to tree, forest to forest, following our intention to journey home to our own roots. In whole time and whole earth, breathing, trusting. And yes, here we are, that everyday miracle of the relationship between mycelium and trees carries you to your very own roots. And you breathe, rising into your own body, in your own home place. Breathe. And breathe again. Pat the edges of your body. Say your name aloud to yourself 3 times. Maven, Maven, Maven. Know that you can and we will return when we wish, when we are needful, with intention in our hearts and our willingness to trust the mycelium to take us back to the willow tree, back to Evans Lake, for healing, to restore our strength and to feel our resilience for this journey ahead. Blessed, blessed, blessed be.
Oh, mycelium. We have traveled backwards in time to look behind us. We who are at just the tip of the root, making our one cell at a time change, we have looked back to see all of our lineage behind us, all that has gotten us here to this moment, to this place, this moment of action. And we have looked forward to how we will listen to and honor this lineage through this year. And you have connected us across time and space. And for that, dear friend, we have so much gratitude. Knowing that you are still here and you will continue to be here with us, and we may also continue to visit with you. From this ritual, I want to say thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Great connector, great composter, great change maker. Thank you. And as always, I invite everyone else to thank and honor mycelium with me as I say, mycelium is sacred.
So we have within us that fierceness, that wonder of the darkness, that deep forest place. She is always connected to us. When we need her, she is there. That Baba Yaga, that fierce warrior, she who is part of us, that which is part of us in our hearts, in our belly. And when we need that energy and that being, they will be there. Blessed be. Baba Yaga.
So we are given a relationship with Vasilisa's Dolly, love of the Great Mother. For a maiden entering a dark forest, seeking Baba Yaga no less, having the love and blessing of the Great Mother given in her Dolly is powerful magic. We are beyond grateful for Vasilisa's Dolly in our pocket. The working of today is done and we have begun. Thank you for joining us today, Dolly. Ere you depart for your fair and lovely realm, we bid you hail and farewell.
And Vasilisa, apprentice, you who go through this journey, who leave sent out into the woods. Vasilisa, thank you for being with us. Thank you for the reminder. We may go by ourselves on this journey, but we go by ourselves together. There are others doing the same thing. We are not in this alone, even when we are alone. And it is always possible to remember that we are apprentices, that there is an elder witch in the woods who has something to teach us no matter what point in our lives we are at. There are lessons to be had. Thank you for being with us here tonight, for bringing us here with you and showing us your knowledge. And from this circle, we bid you hail and farewell, Vasilisa the Brave.
Vasilisa the Brave.
And our dear allies, accomplices, and co-conspirators, before we say hail and farewell, I invite you to whisper to the ones or the beings that you called in and showed up tonight, and perhaps we can ask them to hold and continue to hold and spread their magic a little bit towards Copper and the support team that's around her right now, carrying her and holding her in this time. And from this circle, and from the ways that we asked those allies, accomplices, and co-conspirators to be with us, we say, thank you, I love you, I'm grateful for you. Go if you must, but stay if you will. Hail and farewell.
And as we move forward out of this circle into action, into the ways that we will be shaped and changed by the year's work ahead, and the ways that we will put our love for each other and our growing understanding of our distress and privilege and liberation and belonging into magic that shapes this moment and contributes to this moment and supports the people who are on the front line in this moment. We ask the elements to help us in that magic. And I'll sing a little goodbye song to the elements that many of you know. Sing it with me. We must let the land shape us. Let water carve caverns in us. Let the wind build and break us. Let fire remake us. Thank you, elements. Go if you must, stay if you will. Hail and farewell. And now, as we collect the circle that we have cast, I ask you to remember which part of the circle you cast and bring it together. And we're going to take the energy of this circle and we're going to bring it together and toss it to the fall equinox ritual.
And when we do that, we're going to hold some of that to be available for any of the circles that are created between now and the fall equinox. So we're holding both of those pieces at once because we're witches and we can.
And so let us toss this circle into the west, into the direction for fall. 1, 2, 3.
And may this season be rich and full and magical and connected. Till we meet again.
Until we meet again. And just a final note, I want to say thank you to all of the community witches who brought together and priestess this ritual. Otis and Ashtar and Justine and Alessandra and Horizon and Bridget and Sage and Maven and
Sharon Pink.
Thank you, Sharon Pink.
And Ember and Ruby.
And Seer.
And Seer and Justine, thank you. And
Horizon.
I think that we know that the doll crafting on Sunday is postponed. So keep checking the webpage again and again and again. There will be always new things and updates.
There's a bunch of things in the works to come, and some of them are soon and some of them are later, and lots of exciting things and once again, we encourage you. Takes a community. Very cool. Love you all.
Bye, witches.
Thank you, Chuck and Rachel, for doing the tech.
Oh, thank you, Chuck and Rachel.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you to Chuck and Rachel.
Thank you to everyone who came. Thank you for being here with us, all of us. It's kind of hard to leave.
Yeah.
Really hard to leave.
Hi, everyone. Hey there.
Hi.
Good to see you all. Thank you so much.
Good to see you, Crow.
I was pregnant with Zoe at the Baba Yaga camp in 1995.
I remember.
Yeah.
It's so great.
And she was here tonight somewhere.
She's here tonight. Yay.
Yeah. Love you all. Thank you.
Love you, Crow.
Bye.
Love you, Crow.
Love you. Bye.
Thank you, Ruby, for all your organizing. I have seen and felt your influence in all the things, and I'm like, yeah, go Ruby, go.
Thanks. Fun.
If all of my Zoom meetings could have such lovely, considerate, amazing participation, like my life would be so much better. The community is just astonishing. Like there were nobody was really on mute. Like it was just so lovely. Like
okay, so mote it be, Chuck. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Yeah, let's just all do a little witchy twinkle towards Chuck that happened.
Yes, absolutely.
The beginning of the thank you for tech assisting. Let this spread into your other tech experiences.
However much you want it to.
I just want to say thank you to everyone. I feel like I kind of reconnected today with this community and a reminder of how much I love this community and like all you witches. So thank you. Justine.
I felt so reminded of how meaningful I felt in this community to have like elders and people who have really been my teachers, and so many of you are here in this, and it's just a really beautiful bring tears to my eyes thing of just it's so meaningful here to have met you and to be in a community where this is possible. It's so special. Thank you. Love you guys.
I feel the same way about all the, I don't even know, generations, ages. I feel that way about all of us. It's such a gift to have such a spread of experience and ages, and it's so wonderful. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and Ruby and Beat, my first reclaiming teachers. I love you both so much.
That was fun.
I like the whisker twinkle. That's
Yeah,
nice.
I
Beat.
haven't been to BC camp since, I don't know, 2002.
Hi, Heather.
I can't. Hi.
So nice to see you.
Yeah. So I haven't been to BC camp. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Since I think 2002. So, but I feel right at home.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much. And I don't want to press that little red button.
Yeah.
We're
Oh,
like,
right.
long enough will Ruby and Ember kick us off so people can debrief. I'm waiting to find out.
I can actually be on Zoom for 24 hours. I don't know if we need to have a sleepover or something, but
To go to bed at 9.
We should probably just sleep over at some point during this camp.
Oh, what a
Yeah.
We could upgrade their spaces.
The mute will be very good for the snoring part.
yeah.
I'm gonna get muted.
Oh, how about good night, sweet witches, lay down and rest. Lay down your weary heads and be the forest guests. The stars will guide you, your dreams will do the rest. We bid you good night, good night, good night.
I love that.
That's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
I think it was lifted from a United Church camp. But.
Oh.
It works.
Those are things we can appropriate.
Yeah. It's true.
Says Bridget. I don't know that everybody would agree with me.
Oh.
So good to hear you sing, Bridget.
Oh. It's weird singing online and not hearing anything coming back, like not with everybody. Like with, but not in sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since, I mean, we got to sing with your voice.
We heard you, yay. Yeah.
And Horizon and Coop, those were the great. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was good.
So
That
great.
was really fun.
So great. Oh.
And there was something about, because you were both singing together, it felt more like
we were
singing.
Yeah. It helped.
It really did.
And you bring some of that luscious in love energy to the whole thing.
That is true, we do.
It's so good. We were in ritual this morning together, and I commented on that. I led a trance, and at the end of the trance, they were like having a smooch, and I was like bringing people back from the trance, but just like looking at the two of you, being like, this is like the best thing that could be happening as part of this circle. Yeah.
I just wanted to say how grateful I feel for this online camp. I haven't been able to come to BC Witch Camp for, I think, about a decade now. And it's such a blessing to do ritual with all you folks again. And there's a lot of new faces that I don't know, but a lot of wonderful people who are so, so dear to me. And I just feel so, so moved to be able to be part of this. So thank you so much for doing this online BC Witch Camp. It's amazing.
Can we see you, Raza? Can you turn on your camera for a minute?
Actually, I'm on a computer right now where I don't have the camera hooked up, and I'm sitting naked in my living room because it's really hot here in Montreal. So, yeah. But next time I'll use my phone and I'll use the camera. And it's also my partner, who I think is going by Bodner for camp this year, is also here with me, and it's his first time experiencing not only witch camp but also reclaiming community style ritual, and I'm so glad to be able to share that with my partner. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody who made this happen, and I love you all so much, even those of you I don't know yet.
Love you, Rasa.
Love you too, Raza. Sorry, Raza. I don't know what happened.
I'm twinkling at you all, but you can't see.
Really nice that my dear ones who are mothers are able to come to things, who have little ones, and little ones might be there for story time. And so this lineage piece, yeah, quite like my coven, there's 2 people who are very pregnant, and then there's a bunch of little ones that they have, and they're just all able to be part, even in that like real journey. So it's just such a special part of how it's going this year that is a surprise,
Beautiful.
and really beautiful. This is like the snack table in the web.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be eating cheese and crackers right now.
At 6:30 instead of like, I mean,
Yeah.
this is when I need the this is my late night hangout.
Right.
Then I'll start
I'm
winding
gonna
down.
play werewolf.
I don't know about that.
That can happen for you.
And that happens when I'm snuggling on one of those smelly green cushions in the web.
Your kitty is beautiful, Amber.
What'd you say?
Your kitty is beautiful.
One of them was trying to climb my legs while I was casting. And they were so into like jumping up in my lap during the ritual. They were feeling the magic. It was cool. I can imagine doing a werewolf after ritual, scheduling that for the next one.
Worked really well.
Especially
What did you
since it's so early
Yeah.
for us, some of us. Not midnight.
Yep.
You did great, Chuck. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So much.
I don't
Rachel
have any other feedback. I think the tech was great.
No, it was wonderful. It was so
Rachel was awesome and did the lion's share of things, but I'm happy to make slides in the future if that was helpful for folks. It really helped me to have the lyrics so I could see them. But
I think it did. I'd also like to hear what would help you guys, like what would help you if there are things that we can change about how we do things that would help. So love to hear that sometime.
Actually, could I just say one thing? And I don't know if this is possible. I don't know, Rachel, if you set this up or you did, Chuck, but I couldn't, or maybe I could fix this. I don't know. I wanted to chat to Ember, but I could only do everyone or you two.
Yeah.
So it might be good if the ritual team, like the folks who are doing the priestessing, could actually talk to each other. That's
There's a way
just
to
one
do that.
thing.
You select people from the participants list. You need to bring up the participants list.
Yeah.
It's possible.
So you don't need to figure it out right now, but But
Bridget, could you actually just try doing that right now? I'm curious because I don't know where that is in the settings. Like it might be something in the account settings for the Witch Camp Zoom account.
yeah, so I still just have, I can message everyone or you or Chuck.
Yeah.
Open up click on the participants and pull up the participants list.
Oh, pull up the participants list. Oh,
And then you find the person on the list that you want to message.
Okay.
It looks like it's actually, I see what you're saying. It looks like it's actually turned off on this one. Like
so I see like Ember, for example, I see their name or Ember's name, but
that's not working.
But all I see is like I can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It's not
We
working.
were able to do it in the meeting before the ritual. I was doing it.
It should just be like a setting where people, you can turn on and off the setting where people can, there's an option where people can either only message the host or people can message each other.
Right.
Yeah, and this is participant can chat with, okay, so I'm just curious, if you go to the blue box where it'll say someone's name that you can chat with, do you see over towards the right a little box with 3 dots?
It's chat, you can chat with people if you click on there. No.
Oh, you can go right to their picture.
Rachel. So when I click
their picture,
when I click the 3 little dots, I can see participant can chat with no one, host only, everyone publicly, or everyone publicly and privately.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm gonna try it now.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, it was set to everyone publicly. Okay. Check.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's something we can do.
Did you just change something, Rachel?
Yeah, Chuck just
okay. Because
Yeah.
I didn't know whether I did it through that.
There you
go. Can you try to chat with each other privately? And also Heather and Linda, is that you two, if you want to drop so we can troubleshoot, that's great. Otherwise, feel free to listen to us.
I just said, okay, we're gonna head out. It's late. It's like 7:30 in Sundries. But I just sent Bridget a private message. Good night.
Bye. Love
Bye.
you. So good to see you. Bye.
I'm gonna go because I'll probably never leave. So I love you all and see you soon.
Getting up soon now.
Shazzer.
Yep.
Bye.
Love you.
Love
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye, sweetie.
Will you please sing?
So I just was wondering if we want to do that, if that opens a whole lot of chats between a whole lot of people. Does that matter? Do we care? Because it's private. Maybe we don't care.
Rachel, could you turn that thing off so I can try this other thing that somebody said? I'm gonna.
It's now set to what it's been set at through through the meeting.
So.
Or through the ritual.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't work. Yeah, no, that's the only way to do it. Hey, okay.
Well, this is really good to know.
Yeah, yeah.
Even I wish you could come over to our house right now, since we now live like 5 minutes away from each other, but we can't go to each other's houses. WTF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. That would be sweet.
We're all 5 minutes away from each other right now.
All less than 5 minutes away from
Oh, wouldn't it be so great to wake up and discover that that's true?
Yeah.
I would love
that.
Coop and Horizon, did you all move up to Vancouver?
No, we're in Seattle.
Oh.
But I moved from Portland to Seattle. That's where Cooper was living.
Okay.
We just moved. We live in a house in my sister's backyard right off of Rainier Avenue South, 5 minutes drive from where Maven lives, but we moved we just didn't get to really hang out before. Nobody got to hang out.
How far away does Ember live?
And then we moved to where we live close to Maven.
Like 20 minutes. It's great.
Drive?
So far.
20-minute drive?
20-minute drive, easy. Going over there and playing, well, to be perfectly honest, schooling Horizon and Cooper on the game Evolution.
No one is buying that bullshit, Ember.
evidence.
Well, I have to go eat. I'm starving.
Yeah.
Well, obviously not starving, but I'm very hungry.
So,
So I love you.
I just want to do this map thing. I
Oh.
live 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes walk from Rachel. I live maybe 10 minutes walk from Captain, and maybe 25 minutes walk from Beat.
10-minute bike ride.
Yeah, faster by bike.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Hey,
Bye,
you
everybody.
live in West Seattle, I think not far from where Ember is.
I'm gonna take off too. Good night, everyone.
Who lives in what?
I used to live in West Seattle. Isn't that where you live, Ember?
I moved in the fall.
Ah.
I moved to Capitol Hill, and then in March, it was announced that the West Seattle Bridge was broken forever and shut down indefinitely. Or rather, broken and shut down.
It's just one of those things to add to the apocalypse feeling.
Yeah. Got out in the nick of time.
Would a boat help?
That is
Wondering.
a good question. It's not that kind of party. The West Seattle Bridge is not really quite that. You could take a boat and then be like stuck in an industrial area and have to walk really far to see people outside of that.
So no.
I mean, it depends on what kind of boat you got in your back pocket there, Ruby.
I don't know their spirits.
But with the right kind of boat, I could come see you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can actually boat from West Seattle to your. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to say goodbye. I love you all. It was an honor to do ritual again. So much.
Thank you. Thank you. That was great.
Beautiful.
Beautiful words, Nathan.
Chuck, I think me and you like draw the circle line across the country, though.
Where are you?
Like Minnesota and then Ontario. We just
Minnesota might be far away, but it's the center of the earth right now.
Yeah, that is true.
Real talk. Yeah.
So we live just like 2 blocks from the memorial site, and there were gunshots during this ritual that I could hear still. So.
Oh my God.
Really?
Regular gunshots.
Yeah, like my neighbors had their whole front of their house shot up 2 nights ago.
What?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
By who?
It's unclear if it's still outside instigators, or if it's the work of white supremacists, or if it also is just people. I mean, it's hard to know. There, I think, has been some like supposition that people of color who live in other parts of the city maybe don't see that the surrounding neighborhood is actually quite diverse, and so have feelings like justifiable Black rage about gentrification and all of the social issues, and sort of have expanded the radius of the memorial site to sort of also be a place to like process anger in ways that I think are really scary, particularly for Black and other racialized folks that live on my block, which is sort of the predominantly, like, I would say most of my neighbors. So it's been really interesting to like just sit down and let the folks of color who live in this neighborhood sort of lead and show us white folks the ways that they would like us to be allies. And it's really complicated. Like, and even realizing like in some of our community safety meetings and stuff, like there isn't like a monolithic viewpoint. Like some folks of color would like to be able to call the police and realize that they're people in their lives, like there's no like single unifying point of view. And so it's just like, it's really hard because like some people would be like, oh, somebody's shooting up our house, call the cops. And then other people would be like, fuck no, don't call the cops. And so it's just sort of like, none of us really know what to do. So it's a lot. and it hasn't died down. Like whatever you might see in the news from far away or whatever, like it might seem like, oh, things are better and they've charged the officers and all the things. Like no, it's not better. It's not. So that's a lot.
Are you in personal danger?
I don't know. I hate that. I think somewhat yes, but maybe like less personal danger than some people. So it's hard because it's like, I mean, I think like one of the things that helps us feel safer is that we have like a quite large 3-season front porch. So I feel like from when there has been shots and stuff that have happened on the block, like we have like a layer of buffer. But it's just, yeah, our car got vandalized. I don't know. It's so like, yeah, I don't know, early, like I would say on the 3rd or 4th day, like there were like literally clans people in full regalia 1 block from our house. Like that was, I never in my wildest dreams ever thought that I would see that. Yeah. The whole thing, like in a park, literally where Black and brown children have their athletics and play every day. And I mean, it's just like, you would have said a month and a half ago that would be like, I just sort of am like, what else is 2020 going to throw at us? Because like, I never thought that would happen. So, I mean, there's also been like a lot of opportunity for really beautiful healing. Like the art is amazing. All the murals everywhere are really beautiful. And the medics that are holding down the memorial site is like really beautiful to behold. There's like all amazing herbalists and other healers that are there holding down the healing space. And that's like not something you ever would see. So it's hard because like there's hard things and scary things, but there's also like really beautiful things. I don't know what the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone is like in Seattle, if any of that stuff has come to pass too. Like I certainly know there's been like uprising in other places. It's not just in Minneapolis, but it's really intense to be so close.
Yeah, I've not spent a lot of time in the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, but I haven't heard anything about like that level of white supremacy showing up. It's been flash bombs and tear gas here. Yeah.
Two people were shot early this morning. That, as far as we understand from a drive-by, somebody drove by, and one of them died. And I think that still it's really different than what you're talking about. It's there is this zone where it's, you know, like it sounds like it's yeah, it sounds overall fairly different than what you're talking about.
Yeah, last night there were shots fired into the crowd, and it was very interesting because I don't know if folks in Canada probably don't celebrate this, but yesterday was Juneteenth with it, which is like a holiday that commemorates Black liberation going back to after the Civil War. So obviously, like yesterday there were a lot of like healing events and rallies and things yesterday that were just really beautiful. But so there was a shooting into the crowd last night, and it was very clear the crowd let the ambulance in to pick up the person that was shot and get them out of the area. And then like 50 cops showed up, and I'm like, really? Like, have you not been paying attention the last 3 weeks at all? Like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, they're not going to let you into that space, and nor should they. Like, you pose a direct, like, threat to their safety. Like, I don't know. We were talking about that too. Like, I had developed some language for neighbors and stuff for us to be like, oh, if police do come, like, my directive is, I would like you to leave this space. You endanger my neighbors and you are not welcome here. Leave now. Like, that's, I feel like, is sort of our job to, like, keep them out of here. So I don't know. And that's, like, I've never been like a yay cops person, but I certainly have had an opportunity to sort of recalibrate my thinking of policing, and it's been really clear to me to, like, yeah, this is a value that I have to hold now really intentionally. So.
And it sounds, Chuck, like it's really scary, and I'm guessing your animal is like, what the fuck? All day and all night, every day and every night. Like, that is really hard.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then also, like, there's a pandemic happening still. I don't know if anybody has forgotten that.
That little thing.
I just forgot it when I was like, I wish we could go to Maven's house. That's what I remembered.
Yeah. Interesting times. Well, I hope you all stay healthy and safe.
You too, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have a bedroom available and 2 multiple different surfaces. Just so you know.
My our dogs are so freaked out after all of the military occupation and the fireworks and everything, and my family is like, P.S. Olympia city limits don't allow fireworks. Come to Olympia. There's no fireworks. Like, Olympia's all good. Like, and I'm like, hey guys, should we, like, go to Olympia? Like, can we all go? Like, 2 animals, a geriatric blind cat, my 10-year-old, my partner, and me. Let's just go to Olympia. Like, let's just go. So look at
that. I mean, there's something to be said for giving your nervous system a little respite, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Our block is pretty great about, like, we've all banded together to let some of, particularly the families of color, like, help get them out of the city when things were really, really heavy. And, like, I don't, like, to me, all this, like, hyper local focus, like, I'm pretty introverted, so I never thought that I'd magically become besties with all of my neighbors. Like, that was never in my plan. And so it's been pretty great to, like, see all this awesome, like, community safety stuff evolve out of this. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is the way forward. This is the template for a way to be in better relationship with each other. I don't know. Like, I know in Seattle there are blocks. I don't know if, and where you all are in Vancouver, if you have, like, city blocks with cross streets, or it's more like winding avenues or things like that. But yeah, that's been cool. Ruby, I know you've been howling at night, right? With your block? Or your street?
Not howling. We've been bashing pans and
bashing pans, not howling. Sorry.
Pans, but it's died away.
Yeah, it's died away here too.
Yeah, with the phase 2 opening, it's sort of, and I think summer, you know, that it's 7 o'clock is, and it's sort of periodic. It's died away. It was very powerful for quite a while, and it was so great because we don't run into each other because it's a lot of balconies, but now we're face friends. And I'm anticipating a block party at some point where we all get to come closer or something and have a conversation. It's pretty great. Made me cry when it happened.
I have to go, but I just thank you so much for sharing, Chuck, and I love you all, and hope I get to see you and connect with you soon.
Love you, Sandra.
Wonderful to see you, dear.
Bye.
Good night.
And then there were
I think you were doing pot banging at the same time that people I saw on Facebook were doing howling. So I think I conflated the pot banging and howling at the same time, and I was like, oh, it's all a joyful ruckus.
Yeah, it's a joyful ruckus sort of all over, but it's yeah, it's interesting. They're claiming that amid caution, they're claiming that Vancouver Island has no more, that there's no virus here. Amid caution, because we're not closed. We're not a closed system. So, but there's no evident virus here on the
Amazing.
island. So
Wow.
it's settled.
Some visit.
Dr. Bonnie lives on the island.
Vector away.
I am going to hug a person tomorrow.
You're going to what?
Hug a person tomorrow.
Are you? Person, or are you just going to choose someone in the grocery store?
No, just random Joe off the street.
Rachel, consent is key.
Get him. No, a planned person. It's a scheduled hug.
A scheduled hug?
Yeah, with a safety plan.
Wow.
We both might cry. It'll be good.
Awesome. Wow. I grab as many cats in the street as I can.
Who was that?
And like whenever I see a cat, I try and have a moment.
I haven't been able to get my mitts on any kittens at all.
Yeah, there's a
I
shortage.
bring treats.
Kittenless mitts.
I have a bag of treats that I dangle out the window to lure them into my hand.
Actively soliciting.
She's wearing tuna perfume. She like opens a can of tuna and dabs it in her ear.
It's right here. The treats like this, and I open the window and I dangle them, and they come.
They will come to you.
Come.
That's amazing.
All right, darlings, I'm gonna go pick up Forrest from his little outing, his social outing that he got to have during this. We have broken the rules. Well, I don't know. We made up our rules. We created a social pod. It includes Horizon and Cooper, and one mom and her son. So we've been having Forrest gets time with one of his friends, but Monday he's going back to like summer camp. They're doing a modified social distancing childcare thing where they're putting the kids in pods and keeping them in their same pods all summer. So he's going to get to see his friends for the first time. And
that's great.
Can you imagine being 12 and dealing with this stuff?
No.
Actually, the one that scared me is that I have a 17-year-old grandson, and I thought if I was 17 in this, I would have snuck out to have sex. Like I would not have followed the rules at all. And I was really grateful to discover that he's actually really afraid of the virus. So he's not doing that, but boy, 17.
I would have done nothing but drugs if I was a teenager and there was a pandemic like this. My brain got compromised enough as it was. Like I never would have, my cognitive survival would have been totally threatened.
No.
I think I would have chosen the middle path and had both a lot of sex and done a lot of drugs. So thank you, Ruby and Ember. That's the path I would have taken.
I love
go hard or go home.
Broken all the rules. Yep.
Outlaw behavior is called for, Chuck.
I was thinking of Colleen during that too, like, and others in my family, but I was like, no, sometimes like, law breaking resistance is required. Like,
yeah.
Did you all see that Colleen's brother, Tom, joined the ritual? Tom, who's never been to a witch camp or anything. Tom and his wife were on and they were singing.
I saw a message from someone named Tom.
That's so great. Thank you for telling us that. That's so
I'm guessing that Willow must have sent Tom a very specific invitation to join. And that made me really happy.
Yay.
Well, that was a really impressive ritual to show up to. I was very, very impressed with that. It worked really, really well. I felt.
Was pretty much everybody known to everybody else?
No, tons of new folks in there. Tons of new folks. At least 20 people I didn't know. At least.
But I think there's a lot of older folks before my time who are seeming like they're coming back because the storytelling, people like put their BC years, and I just think online is just opening up access for folks.
There's people from all over. We're getting people from Florida. There's people from, I think there's people from Spiral Heart Camp, California Camp.
A map of Scotland on it as their.
One person that I know of off the continent. Yeah.
The person from Florida was Colleen's brother, Tom. So.
Oh, cool. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Who just signed up like today or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
I just realized that we're still recording. I can probably stop that. Yeah.
I hope you can edit.
Then we can start